Kia ora fellas, Agent 6, Ditch the Gym New Zealand. I'm going to be taking some time right now to answer some of the questions that I've had coming in through the emails. And today in particular, we're going to be talking about questions I've had around powerlifting. So guys, yep, my channel promotes functional fitness, for lack of a better term, even though I kind of hate that term. But the reality is, the beauty of being a home-forged athlete is the fact that you don't have to get tied into any particular modality of training. If you want to explore powerlifting or any other strength sport, you can do it. And I'm going to argue that you can do it successfully at home. Now, to be fair, a lot of Kiwis get into powerlifting after they leave a sport like rugby. Maybe they've tacked up a few head injuries and they still want to be competitive in something. Now, powerlifting at home is a great option. This is a sport that you can achieve tremendous success in just by training at home. It's not a coincidence that many of the world's best powerlifters actually train at home. Now, the sport itself consists of 3 events. You've got your bench press, you've got your squat, and you have your deadlift. So a barbell and some weights and a rack, or a half rack like the one I've got behind me, are all you're really going to need. Now, there are some very real safety considerations to think about if you plan on competing as a powerlifter and you're going to do your training at home alone. Now, as far as the deadlift goes, you're not going to need a spotter for that one. Anybody that tells you you do, that's probably the same kind of guy who wants to go milk a bull. I'm also going to argue that you can achieve success in the squat without a spotter. You do have to be careful, you do have to be diligent, and you have to take the right approach. But the tricky one to manage as a home-forged athlete is definitely the bench press. Lying on your back with a shit ton of weight over your vital organs while you're alone can cause some problems. That means you're going to have to utilize safety bars and brackets. The problem then becomes now that you've created sticking points within your lift. In other words, areas where you don't really display consistent strength throughout the full range of motion. So my tip for today is that we can overcome this by using isometrics. Because isometrics develop strength 15 degrees to either side of any given angle, you simply find your sticking point, strap in, and make the effort. Now, if you're training for powerlifting at home as a home-forged athlete, another thing that we need to address as part of a health and safety consideration is the common misconception that as a powerlifter, you're maxing out all the time. That's simply not the case. You're maxing out in your competitions. Now, there are some great powerlifting programs out on the market today that don't require you to max out. So, for that, I would look at Jim Wendler's 531, Pavel Topsulin and Dan John's Easy Strength, not the version that I did, the adapted version with the kettlebell that I did on this channel recently, but the proper version with a barbell. And again, take a look at those greasing the groove methodologies. They work really well in powerlifting. They work particularly well for powerlifting. So to recap, safety first when training at home as a home-forged athlete for powerlifting. Isometrics will get you through your sticking points. And again, pick a good program, guys, that doesn't have you maxing out on your own all the time. That's ridiculous. It's not how it works. Now, over the years, I've had the good fortune of running into some of the characters over at the YBOP powerlifting organization. That's Waikato Bay of Plenty. Great bunch of folks, to be fair. They've got a good positive vibe to what they do. If that is a sport that you'd like to pursue, there are a number of provincial governing bodies throughout the country. There's a national level body as well here in New Zealand, and it's increasing in popularity all the way down from youth and high school age kids all the way up into the Masters division. So there's a lot of room to compete, and it's something you may want to check out. Remember, guys, there's very little you can't accomplish at home on your own in terms of strength and fitness. If you've got any questions, drop me a line. Make this New Year's a good one, gentlemen. Ditch the Gym New Zealand.